to another edition of Beginners in HTML tutorial with Linux Academy. I'm your tutor Samuel, and today we'll be dealing on images in HTML. Now, writing images or displaying images on your web pages, we simply use a particular tag for that, which is called the image tag, and it is denoted as img. So when you type img, press your tab, you're going to have your image tag prepared. Now, if you look over here, unlike our regular tags that we have an opening tag and a closing tag, the image tag is called a self-closing tag. So we have two types of tag in the HTML, which is the closing tag, the opening and closing tag, and also the self-closing tag. Now, on our image tag, you can see we have two attributes over here, which is the src and the alt. Now, the src simply means the source attribute, and the alt means the alternate attribute. Now, the source attribute tells the HTML where to get the images. It tells the HTML where to get the images from our paths. Now, I have imported some images folder on our website. We imported some images from our website. We have the html.jpg, javascript.png, python.png images. So now we're going to use this on our website. So the first thing we're doing, we're going to create an heading. We're creating an heading. So h1 coding with Linux. Coding with Linux. So this is going to be our heading, and so coding with Linux. So on our search attributes, we might be putting the path at which we want the images to be. But before using this, let's just make a dummy description. Now let's import our html.jpg. So to do that, we're simply going to write the name of the image, which is html, and you can see a shortlisted one over here with the name. Now immediately we do that, the image appeared on our browser, which is this, but this is not the right way of keeping or saving our images on our website. So how are we going to do that? We have to group them on a folder. So I'm going to create a folder and name it image img. Then I'm going to copy all these files. I'm going to move all the images files into that folder. Now, if you look over this part, all our images are found inside the image folder. So this makes our work a little bit okay and presentable. So whenever we're looking for an image to import, we simply click on our image folder. We're going to get the list of all the images available on our website. So let's go back to our code. So I'm going to remove this. So let's continue building our tutorial website. So after creating our heading, we're going to have a section displaying the list of courses. And I said when using list, we simply use the highlight tag. So we say unordered list, and we'll have a list of tags, the list of courses. So we'll be having, let's say, 4 courses. So we'll have HTML, we have JavaScript, we have Python, and we have, let's see over here, I think we have JavaScript. Oh, that's Java, which is the last one, Java. Now we have, this is a list of courses which we have over here. So under each of these elements, we have this. Now we're going to use this session on our code later on. So I'm going to close that tab. We're going to use it as our link tag when we're discussing link in our next session. So over here, I'm going to say h2, create an h2 tag, say len html. Then under this, I'll have a description which says HTML is a markup language. Then I'm going to import the image tag over here. Then the source of it. So now to get our source path from our local server, I'm going to put a dot to get the directory of where our image is. So one dot, then a backward slash. Now over here, you're going to see the image folder displaying. So you click on it, then you select the image which you want to display. And I was talking about the HTML, so select HTML, and immediately we'll have our image displaying on our website because I'm using a live server. Now, what's the auth attribute? The auth attribute tells a screen reader or the browser what kind of image are we displaying. So it helps or enables screen readers to be able to understand the particular images that is being displayed. And also it has another attribute that simply tells us the type of image is being displayed if the page fails to reload that image or the image is not found on that particular part which we have designed it to be. Now let's say we are going to name it HTML logo. Now let's give it a wrong file path name. So say images. Immediately the image is going to go off, and instead of displaying the image, we are going to be seeing the alternate name, which is what HTML logo. So if the file path or the path that we are getting our image from, the source we're getting our image for, is wrong, the alternate is going to tell the user or the developer or the browser displays the alternate name for that particular image. So we're going to change this back to the original name which we have, and our image will be running on our browser. Now we have two other attributes which I'm going to teach you today, which is called the width and the height of an image. So write the width. Now I can give the width of this image. The width and the height simply resizes the images to fit or suit the browser. As you can see over here, we are having this image going above what we want, but we can reduce it by using the width and the height to control the image size. So we're going to have the height, and the height we're going to give it 200. Now immediately you'll be seeing what happens. You see the height of the image reduced drastically on our browser. Now let's give it a width of 200 as well. Now you can see what happens over here. The width of the width of our image reduced as well because we have given it a width of 200. So let's say we give it a width of 100, and you can see it's still reducing. So the width and the height can be used to resize the image on our browser to suit the kind of elements we want. Now you can see over here we have the len HTML. HTML is a markup language, and we have the HTML image displaying over there. Now let's create another image tag. So I'm going to separate this section with an horizontal line, hr, and a break. So I'm I'm going to use a line break of 5. Instead of writing it 5 times, I'm going to use a simple command of p_arrow times 5. So the next element is going to go below it, which is this. So I have another h2 tag. Learn Python. Now you can see over here we have the learn Python. So we have our Python tag, our paragraph to display what Python is. The Python is a programming language. Okay, that's just a dummy description. Then we can as well add the image for Python. Then the source, remember we're going to get it from our source path, so we use a dot and a backward slash to locate our image folder. Then we select the Python image, and we have this and the auth. So see Python logo. Then we'll have our width and height to control it, 200, and the height of 100. And close our image folder. Now there are some persons whereby they'll be using a backward slash before this to close it, and it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as writing, or it's the same thing as writing without the backward slash. So you can decide to leave it like that. Now let's go over to another one. Let's create another one. Now one thing about HTML, if you are repeating the same content, you can simply just copy and edit that particular part to save time. But in the case of yours learning, I will advise you that you write them from scratch. So I'm going to write Java over here. I'm doing this to save time. Java is a programming language, and I'm going to change this to the name Java JPG. And if you see over here, we have our Java session. We can create another one again. And that's going to be JavaScript. Okay. And here we have our JavaScript. So now with this, we'll be able to create, let me use 3, I think the 5 is much. Let's use 3. So they're going to be closer to each other. Okay, now this seems good. Now with the image tag, we're able to link our images directly to our browser. Now there's something else I'm going to teach you. There's an element called the figure element. The figure element, and it's being denoted with the figure tag, which is figure. Now inside the figure, we simply wrap in our images. Inside the figure, we can wrap in our images. Now in the figure, we have a nested tag which is called the fig caption. The fig caption tells the browser the caption that is related to that images. So instead of using a paragraph, we're going to use the fig caption. So we're going to wrap this particular section inside our fig caption. Now cut this. I'll paste it inside our fig caption. Now inside our figure, then instead of using the paragraph, I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to use the fig caption. It's a fig caption. Then I'll paste the code. Now watch what happens. If you look over here, our image is being indented. It's been indented because of the figure tag that we applied. Now we can restyle this using our CSS, which we are going to learn in few tutorials from now. So we'll be learning how to apply CSS to our HTML element. Like I said earlier in the beginning of this course, an HTML is just like a structure of a building. Then the CSS gives the beauty of that building. So when we apply CSS to this page is going to be transformed into a beautiful one. Now we're just creating the skeletal structure of this website by using our HTML. So the fig caption simply stands as a caption for that particular image. You can see that the caption goes together with the images and is being indented. So like I said, we can restructure this using our CSS to make it to be in the same line or in line with our heading. Now we can apply these same settings to all our images over here. So what we're going to do, we're going to delete this. We copy. And the fig caption. So paste this. Then we have to cut this and paste it inside the figure tag. So we have this. Here we go. Now you can see they are all being indented as we are going up. So let's just cut this without wasting time. Create the figure. So we're going over to the last one. We cut and we create the figure tag. Paste in. Fig caption. And we are good to go. Now, like I said, the fig caption is very good. It gives a description of that particular image instead of using our regular paragraph in describing that. So with the help of the fig caption, we'll be able to create dynamic and very useful caption for our images. So thank you guys for watching. See you in our next tutorial. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.